All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Ecomnomics 101. Um, I'm your host, Akila McIntosh. Um, this presentation is just simply just basic, you know, ecom knowledge for you to kind of just help get your mind going and think about if it's an industry that you would like to get into. So I'm not going to waste too much time talking. I'm going to try to get through this presentation as quick as I can, as thorough as I can. So grab your pen, your pad, whatever you need to take notes, kind of just block out this next um, maybe 30, 45 minutes to just taking these notes here. All right, so let's go. All right, so just to introduce myself, my name is Akila McIntosh. I'm born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts. Shout out to the Celtics, City of Champions 2024. Um, but some of my favorite like hobbies, I love sports. I love playing basketball. It's kind of like my main sport right now. I can dabble a little bit in bowling. Um, I like fitness, weightlifting. I also love going to the gun range, and I am trying to get a little bit more into traveling. But yeah, those are some of my hobbies there. I've been a solopreneur since 2017, or really is that's where the journey began was in 2017 when I started my own fitness brand, and then I would say 2021 is kind of when I really like started to take it serious. Like 2017 is when it kind of came up, but I wasn't too sure. I wasn't super confident. But 2021 is when I kind of really locked in and started to really sit down and focus on like the fine details of starting a business and learning the ins and out and stuff like that. So I've tried a bunch of different hustles over my time. Definitely starting off with, you know, network marketing back in like 2020 when the pandemic happened. I've done podcasting for in and out about 3 years. Still currently do it. I learned to become a day trader, trading forex, and dabbling a little bit in stocks. Uh, I launched my own athletic apparel brand again. So it went from one brand in 2017 to changing the name in 2021, and then creating a athletic apparel with that. And then here we are now, 2024, Amazon. Well, I started Amazon last year, but doing Amazon FBM, which is fulfilled by merchant. We can get into that a little later, or if you have questions about that, you can DM me. But as you guys can see, the MG on my hat, the MG on my shirt, if you can see it, probably my mic blocking it, the MG on my shirt, but you could also see it in the photo too. Millennial Gems. I created it in 2022, and what the brand stands for is just simply that the millennials are the generation of innovators and creators. Like, we've adapted to the most, we've been through the most, we've essentially found ways to help elevate our games and seek wealth at a faster pace. So we're not doing the same, following the same generic footprint or blueprint or whatever you want to call it of wait until 65 to retire and then live a free life after that. Now, we're not doing that because who wants to do that? We found a faster gateway to achieve wealth in our 20s and our 30s and our 40s. So that's why I say we are the game changing generation, because we have the answers that will help affect future generations and how they go about making money. Um, Everybody should navigate their life with a why. Mine is simply time freedom. And so, you know, I want the ability to do what I want when I want. Um, I want to be able to travel and go where I want. I want to be on an island on a Monday while everybody else is working their 9 to 5. I want to be on an island on a Monday, chilling with either just myself or me and my lady or me and my kids and my lady. I don't have that right now, but eventually at some point, that is what I want. So time freedom, just to be able to do what I want to do, be able to hang out with my family, do what I want to do, and not have to worry about money being something that I actually need. So enough about me. Let's get into what you guys actually came here for. All right. So first slide is, who is e-commerce for? First one is, if you are ready to learn a new skill set. Second, if you have an interest in selling a product or service. Third, if you want to earn money while you sleep. And then fourth, if you are tired of the rat race. If you'd answered yes to any one of these, or if you looked at all these statements and realized that this is you, these apply to you, then e-commerce most definitely is the space to get into. And just so you guys know, like, you know, just so that way you have like some stats on e-commerce. Oh, I wish I had my sheet here. Well, I did have a sheet, but um anyway, e-commerce is it's a growing industry, like to be honest. It's a growing industry and it's going to keep growing as the years go. Like brick and mortars, I believe, are going to be phased out and everything is just going to be online. Like everybody's just going to be buying things online. That is the way, that is where e-commerce is heading. Right now, if I'm not mistaken, it's $1 billion industry, and I believe it's honestly it's going to be heading into the trillions in the next few years. So you might want to get in on that on the action. What is e-commerce? So if you break it down, commerce is the buying and selling of a product or service. So all the E stands for is electronic, which means now it's done online. It's done through the internet. So now it's no more hand to hand, face to face. This is now done online. So now it's electronic commerce, electronic buying and selling of a product or service through the internet. Now, when it comes to business e-commerce, you have four main business models. So there are more business models, but these are kind of like the Mount Rushmore. So B2B is business to business, which is, as you can see by definition, one business selling to another business. Perfect examples, ADP. If you're a business who has employees, you're going to need a payroll software to pay your employees. Stripe, you need a payment processing system to help process payments. Granger. Granger is a site that you use to buy supplies. So if you have a brick and mortar or stuff like that, you're going to need supplies to help run. You're going to need trash cans. You're going to need dollies. You're going to need tables, supplies. Pretty much, you're going to need all that to help run your business. That's business to business. B2C, which is probably the most common business model, is business to consumer. This is obviously business selling to an individual. This is how the world moves. Capitalism. Amazon. We buy things from Amazon every day. Nike, Fashion Nova, brick and mortar stores, people going into stores. These are examples of B2C. Anytime you buy from your favorite brand, that is B2C. C2C is consumer to consumer. So now this is an individual selling to an individual. Some people may argue that this one is a toss up if it's a business model or not. I say it's a business model because I think once you have money involved in a transaction, it's considered business. However you want to put it. But perfect examples of that is just eBay. People sell their things that they don't want anymore on eBay. You can find apartments on Craigslist. Airbnb, that's a good business model. Like you renting out your home to somebody else to stay in. Facebook Marketplace. I'm sure many of you have used Facebook Marketplace to sell items. It's equivalent to eBay. And then the last one is C2B, and this is consumer to business. So this is an individual selling to a business. So typically this will be more so like those freelance workers. So, those people you find who do like photography or videography because businesses need that. You need an online presence. You're going to need photos of your products and stuff like that. Ooh, excuse me. If you need a website, you're going to pay a website designer to do that. If you need like a logo made or a graphic designer, you're going to pay somebody for that. This is how you help run your business. You need these little essential things here. So that's examples of C2B. So remember those main four. All right. So now we're going to talk about revenue models. So there are a bunch of different revenue models. These are just again some of like the main ones that I kind of just came to mind real quick. So the first one is direct to customer sales, selling a product or service directly to a customer. So say, I have this pencil here and I elect to sell this pencil to you for $5. You pay me the $5. I give you this pencil right here, right when that transaction's happening. Boom, direct to customer sale. You probably also noticed this when you've had, I don't know if how many of y'all have witnessed this or ever gone through this when back in the day when you have those people who walk up to your house trying to sell you those knife sets or trying to sell you a vacuum, direct to customer sales, product or service selling right to you. The next one, drop shipping. This is a very popular revenue model. It involves selling a product without holding inventory and having the supplier ship to the customer. So what happens here is you'll create a storefront and you'll list products on your store. Most of the time, it probably won't be yours. It'll probably just be a bunch of like random different products and stuff like that. But what will happen is when a customer buys, you pretty much don't do any of the heavy lifting. All you need to do is set up a payment processing to collect the sales, and the supplier is going to pretty much do everything else. They're going to handle the logistics, they're going to handle all the shipping and packaging, all of that. The only thing to that caveat is you don't receive 100% of the profit. The supplier is going to take a cut of the profit since they did majority of the work with doing the logistics and doing all the packaging. So pretty much all you're doing is setting up the storefront and collecting payment, but the suppliers got to collect the bulk of it. But it's a popular revenue model, and most people will get into first if they don't want to like hold inventory. So you don't have to hold inventory. Subscriptions. I think this is one that's starting to become like really really popular now. Uh, this is just a recurring payment for a product or service, usually monthly. So look at your streaming services, your Netflix, your Hulu's, your HBO. Yeah, well, I think HBO Max. Well, yeah, your HBO Max is probably. But just look at all those like streaming services. Also look at things like I don't know how many people shop on. Maybe I think it's Fabletics. I believe they offer like a subscription service. I think even Rihanna's brand, what is it, Fenty, Savage, or one of the Savage Fenty, one of the two. I forget which one, but um, I believe she offers a subscription based model too. So essentially, it's just getting that reoccurring payment, which I think is becoming a lot more popular now. Affiliate marketing is just simply earning a commission from selling and promoting another brand's product or service. So say I have my hat here, and I give you an affiliate link. So say it's like for like 20%. So if somebody uses your link to buy this hat from my website, you will receive a percentage of that sale depending on what me and you negotiated. So that's affiliate marketing. You earning commission from somebody buying a product from my brand. Next one is freemium. Freemium, this is just selling a service with two or more tiers. So sometimes when you say maybe something this is more probably like towards like services and stuff like that. But say like when you sign up for something, I don't know, say like an AI software or something like that. Like they may offer like a free tier. And so you get these amount of features for free. But if you want these extra features and stuff that the good high tier features, you're gonna pay a little extra for that, an extra like 20-30 bucks for that. So that's a freemium. And like I said, it'll always be like maybe like 2 tiers or more. Most of the time, I've always seen like just maybe like 3 or 4 max. And then the last revenue model is advertising. So this is just charging a commission to promote another brand on a promoter platform. So say you have like a product and you see somebody, who has like a large following on Instagram or on TikTok or something like that, and you pay them to promote your product because you feel like they align with your brand values and stuff like that. So What you'll do is you'll pay them and they will promote your product so that way that could help drive sales too. That's considered advertising. Obviously, you have Facebook ads, which can help drive that. You have Instagram that you can pay Instagram ads. So you have different ways that you can, um, make money through advertising. All right. So let's just talk about the pros first of e-commerce. So first thing, you get a global reach. There's no limit to who you can sell to, unless you just want to sell in the US or wherever your country you're from or watching this. You have the ability to branch out everywhere. You have the ability to hit all seven, the other six continents, depending on where you are. So it can be a worldwide, you can build a worldwide brand. Data collection. With the data collection, you're collecting emails, you're collecting phone numbers to send, those text message blasts about like new products you're dropping. Um, you're collecting info on, what reviews and stuff like that, the things that people like, things that people dislike. All this data collection, it helps you run your brand so that way you know how to, you know, put things in, take things out. Um, well, pause. That sounded crazy, but um, yeah, kind of just figure out what works for your business and what's not working for your business. Next is 24/7. When you think of brick and mortar stores, chances are that they have a set time frame. They're probably open maybe what 12, 13 hours a day. 20, e-commerce is 24/7. It's never closed. So you can buy anytime you want at any time. Customer convenience. So let's be honest. Most people aren't going into stores anymore because they're buying things online. Um, why do you think like Amazon is literally like probably like the number one marketplace right now? Because people pay for convenience. That's why people shop on Amazon. You can probably find the same product that you find on Amazon in the store, but some people just don't want to go to the store. They like what they see on Amazon and they'll pay for it on Amazon because they like the convenience of it being brought right to their door. Low overhead costs. There's a low barrier of entry when it comes to getting into e-commerce. So it's really never like a whole lot that you need to spend when it comes to getting into this industry. And then diverse payment methods. Obviously, you have, uh, obviously your different credit card processors. You have you can pay with cash. Um, there's just a myriad of ways that you can go about receiving your payment methods. Now, let's just talk about the cons because everything that has pros has cons too. So, returns and refunds. It's going to happen. I'm sure we've all done it. You've done it plenty of times. You return a product because you don't like it anymore, or it doesn't suit you, or it doesn't fit, yada yada, whatever it is. I've dealt with this a lot, mainly um, when I sell on Amazon. People are going to return items because they find it at a better price or they just don't want it anymore. It happens. That's just a part of the game. Competition. You're never probably going to be just that one person selling in that specific industry. There's always going to be plenty of competition. There's always going to be plenty of people selling in the same industry of you. The main thing is to make sure that you find a way to help differentiate yourself, differentiate your brand. Delayed shipping and delivery. This is something that's just it hasn't happened to me as yet, but I've heard from others that, sometimes shipping might take longer than usual, especially, if you're doing like a product, if you're doing like a clothing brand or something like that. You might order from like overseas and then, they say it's going to be here in 2 weeks, but it actually takes like, you know, three weeks, 3.5 weeks. Sometimes it's just going to be delayed shipping. It's something that's just going to be out of your hands. You can't control what happens but from when your product is traveling place to place. Technology issues. Your website server may go down. Your payment processing server may go down. You know, y'all saw like when we had the what was it, the outage, the Microsoft outage or so, like where everything kind of just went down. All servers went down. I forget. I think that was like a couple months ago, but things are gonna happen. And again, it's just gonna be out of your control. So it's going to happen. Um, and then the last thing is that you guys got to realize, like when you're first starting in e-commerce, you're gonna have to do everything. You're gonna fulfill orders. You're going to have to take care of the inventory management, and you're gonna have to do the customer support. You're gonna be wearing all the hats until you have the funding to, you know, delegate those tasks. So here are just some common terminology. So first one, AOV, which is average order value. This is just the average amount of money made per order. CTA is the call to action. This is a sentence or phrase that directs a customer to purchase. Ooh, excuse me. Then you have conversion, which is the number of customers who engage with the call to action. Your domain is your brand URL, so your website. The funnel is the journey customers take before the sale offer. Um, you'll typically see this with like a lot more like services and stuff like that. Um, Inventory is just your physical products that you sell. Your landing page, that's the very first page people see when they click on your website. Your niche is typically a product or service within a specific industry. Well, we're going to talk about that in another slide a little later. SEO is your search engine optimization. This is just an online marketing tool to help your people find, find your website. Um, and then traffic is a number of people number of people visiting your website. And then lastly, your upsell is just a sales technique to help get customers to buy more. So they buy a product, but you might have something like under and like, wait, other people bought this. You've probably seen that on like a website, like other people bought this after you bought a product. So that's upselling. So marketplace versus e-commerce. So I don't know if many people talk about this, but I felt like it was important enough to kind of just differentiate this here. So selling on a marketplace versus selling on your own store. So the first thing, marketplaces are typically, you can sell a variety of brands, where e-commerce, you have to focus on just one brand. So let's take Amazon. Amazon is considered a marketplace. You can literally leverage all the big brands and stuff like that, and you can sell a bunch of different products on Amazon. Versus an e-commerce store, typically you're going to just focus on one specific type of industry, or a specific type of product. So like I said, I had an athletic apparel brand. So I'm with the e-commerce store, you're going to sell literally things that are related to athletic wear, versus like a marketplace where you can sell a bunch of different things. Like Amazon, you can sell baby products, beauty products, health and household products. You can sell a bunch of different random items. E-commerce stores are a little bit more niche down. Secondly, marketplaces will typically generate revenue through commissions, while e-commerce stores generate revenue through their sales. So what this means is that marketplaces will typically make their money through you utilizing their platform. So going back to Amazon, when you set up, say you're doing Amazon FBA. So Amazon's going to charge you for the category. They got to take their fees for that. They're also going to charge you for shipping to their warehouse, and then they're going to charge you also for, sending that product out, storage. There's a whole lot that goes on with that. So Amazon is essentially cutting into whatever your full on profit may be. Versus your e-commerce store, you'll get 100%, and you pretty much generate your money through the sale. Once the sale happens, boom, that's all you. You have to get sales. If you don't get sales, you don't make money. The marketplaces, they just make their money by you just using the platform. Next thing, marketplaces are responsible for marketing. E-commerce stores, the individual is responsible for marketing. So for this here, you don't have to do a whole lot of marketing when it comes to Amazon, especially if you're utilizing, big name brands that are already popular already. Like some people will go on Amazon trying to sell their own, private label products, but I think at that point you might as well just go on, um, just create a Shopify store, create an online store, and just sell it that way. Um, but the marketing is taken care of on Amazon because everybody goes on Amazon. So, as long as you can get your product, and obviously product rankings are done on Amazon, so it'll be easy to kind of navigate how to find your product. But e-commerce stores, you have to do the marketing. You don't make money from your product with your product unless people can see it. So you have to market your product. And then the last thing, marketplaces don't require too much of an investment to list and sell, and e-commerce stores can be pricey to start up. So again, like I said, selling on the marketplace is typically not that difficult, to be honest. Like selling on Amazon, you have two choices. You can either use their individual account, which is pretty much it's 99 cents per sale, or you can get their um, professional account, and that's about 39.99 a month. So 40 bucks a month. But that will typically come out of like whatever like your total sales is. So really, there's not a whole lot that you have to pay for with being on a marketplace. With the e-commerce store, you have to have inventory, especially if you plan on holding your product. You have to set up a domain. You have to, uh, obviously get a photo shoot done and, you know, commercials or whatever is like that. You're gonna need all that stuff unless you plan on doing it yourself. You're gonna need content. You're gonna need to pay somebody to do all of that stuff for you, to produce all that stuff for you. So it can be a little pricey, even though I still say it's still low barrier to entry, but it still can get a little pricey. So right here, these are just some of like the best platforms people sell on for e-commerce. Shopify is what I currently use. That's what most people will use. I think it's the best platform to use to sell for e-commerce. I would say next in line probably might be Wix. I have a little bit of experience with Wix. I haven't used Wix too. I haven't used it for e-commerce. I've used it for another purpose, but Wix is a pretty good one. I can't speak on Squarespace too much or WordPress, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, or PrestaShop. I haven't used those platforms, but those are just some like other options. But I would say if you're gonna get into e-commerce, Shopify definitely is the best platform to get into. So selecting a niche. So I talked about this a little earlier on the terminology slide. So if you remember what a niche was, it's simply just selling a product or service within a specific industry. So when it comes to selecting a niche, I would say like just kind of look at these five things here and kind of it'll help you determine like where you want to put your focus, because you can't sell if you try to sell to everybody, you're really selling to nobody. So you want to try to hit that specific avatar, create that avatar who you want to sell to. So I would say the first thing is kind of identify your passion. Like, what are your skill sets? What do you like? And go from there. Once you've identified that or a few different things, I would ask yourself, all right, is what I want to do, is it a need? Is it a necessity? Is it something that'll help other people? Is it going to impact somebody? If you can answer the question of yes, it's a need, then determine who your target audience is. Because now this is where your avatar comes in. Because now you need to figure out, all right, who is the specific person that I'm looking for? Um, and what I mean is, you know, say you're talking about um the avatar. Say you're talking about maybe a person who is an athlete, right? And they actually, you know what? Let's use single moms. So say that there just needs to be some workout wear for regular women to wear, but there are actually no clothes, no workout wear that's specifically for pregnant moms or anything like that. What you can do is you can figure out, all right, this is for this 40-year-old mom who needs this specific wear. Like that'll be like your avatar. This is for that single mom who's 40 years old and like doesn't uh there's no proper uh what is it called? Athletic apparel for her to wear. So essentially, all in all, you just want to figure out who your avatar is. Figure out who you want to talk to. After you figure out your target audience, do your market research. You want to see exactly what's out there already. You know, is it profitable? Is it sustainable? If you can answer those questions, then you can go on to the last one here where it's gather insight from potential customers. See what people are saying and, figure out what people want. What's missing from these other brands that you can contribute to? What is somebody else not doing that you can do that can make you different? And that's how you stand out from the competition. So those I would say are your five kind of uh, things to consider when it comes to selecting a niche. Just kind of just go through these five concepts here. All right. That's the end of my presentation here. If you guys do have like any questions about like e-commerce, my socials are right here. You can uh DM me on Instagram. You can like and subscribe my channel on YouTube. You can also follow me on Threads at officialakilla. Again, most of these are all official Akilla except for my TikTok, which is the God Millennial. Uh, but you have options. So if you have any questions about anything, feel free to just drop a comment or drop a DM, and kind of just let me know what you thought about this presentation. So we're gonna be over and out. Thank y'all for coming to my presentation. Peace.